This is a psychological component I find very compelling about confession, is that one does not merely confess to oneself that one has done something wrong. In fact, your conscience has already told you you've done something wrong. So you're kind of just telling your conscience back, I agree. However, there's something fundamentally different, psychologically different, about confessing out loud to another person. I don't think it's as effective to just simply go to your room, shut the door, and ask God for forgiveness. Now, I'm not saying that one shouldn't ask God for forgiveness even daily. I think you should. I think in our prayers, at the beginning of the day and at the end of the night, we should ask God for forgiveness. But for the major sins in our life, or for the habitual sins in our life, or the things that we just can't shake off, saying it out loud to another person allows the true nature of the thing to be recognized. I do think Jung is right that confessions made to ourselves have little effect. Because of the influence of conscience, we have no power to really release ourselves from our own sins, or our own secrets, or our own faults and failings. But conscience is there to testify against us. And I think the kind of cartoon of the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other is a perfect image of the dual aspect of the conscience. The conscience, when you've done well, is the angel, and it bids you to do the right thing. And when you've done poorly, when you've done wrong, it accuses you. This is another name for Satan, the great accuser. And in that moment, your conscience is acting sort of satanic towards you. It's gnawing at you. It's the worm that never dies. It's the accuser who stands and does not testify for you, but testifies against you. And I don't think there's any way to truly put the conscience at ease, to cleanse it, until you speak out loud to another human being in some form, even if it's not sacramental, but you've offended another person, or there's something you have to get off your chest. I mean, think about even in our kind of everyday life of talking to a spouse or to a friend. We can't just keep these things in. We bottle them up and we explode. We have to speak out loud. And there's great psychological power in that. That most people need someone to confess to. Otherwise, the basis of their experience of this integration or forgiveness is not sufficiently real, as Jung says. They do not hear themselves. So they cannot contrast themselves with something different. Thus, they have no outside control. So it makes, I think, a considerable difference whether I confess my guilt only to myself or to another person.